Everybody's talking about investing in Pokemon cards, but how do you actually do it without getting scammed, hyped into junk, or stuck with cardboard you don't even care about? Also, a quick note, don't invest in Pokemon cards if you don't care for the franchise or the TCG. It will be much harder to get into, and if you ever decide to sell, it's going to be a nightmare. There's also a fine line between investing and scalping, so I'll cover what not to do. I'll be covering a bunch of tips in this video, and even a strategy that can exponentially scale your collection. Now, Pokemon card investing is a very simple concept. You buy cards and products hoping they'll go up over time because of many factors, including scarcity increasing. But that leaves a bunch of questions. What should you buy? What makes something good to buy? What makes something risky or safe to buy? And I'll also be answering all of that. Also, quick warning, we are in a bull market right now, and a lot of things are severely overpriced and hyper-shielded to the moon. A lot of things will drop, but there are still some good plays to be made, and I'll tell you how to find them. Now, there's two main categories when it comes to investing in Pokemon cards. You have singles, which include slabs, and you have sealed. Let's start by talking about singles. Now, my first tip is going to be to make your investment things you want to collect as well. You don't have to do this, and it's definitely not the most optimal, but it makes it a lot more fun and enjoyable. For example, if I want to collect the final evolution starters from 151 and the PSA 10, those can be a good investment as well as something I want in my collection. While a factory sealed case of booster boxes might not be the coolest and most eye-appealing thing to have in your collection, even though it may grow more. It's also worth noting that not everything you want to collect is a good investment. For example, I'm collecting every Porygon card ever made, and that's in no way an investment. It's just something I want in my collection personally. By the way, I'm trying to make it to 500 subscribers, so if you could just take a second and like and subscribe, it would mean a lot and you could be a part of this journey. And to all those who are already subscribed, thank you for supporting. Singles are nice, but there's a catch. Most of them will enter the market over time as people keep ripping packs. Obviously, as the set gets older and sealed gets harder and more expensive, they'll obviously get scarcer, but new ones will still enter the market. That's where slabs come in, especially PSA 10s. Other companies work too, and PSA does have its flaws, but PSA is the most recognized. In the long run, it tends to be the best. A PSA 10 means it's in top condition, and as time goes on and packs and cards get handled or stored poorly, clean copies get ever so harder to find. For modern, you should always be aiming to buy 10s. If you're buying raw singles, here's a tip. Unless you think the card really has a shot at a 10, just grab the PSA 9. They're usually around the same price as raw versions, and over time, even 9s can build a pretty good premium, especially for high-demand chase cards. Singles are more speculative and violate than sealed product, as upcoming sets or hype can really swing the value of a card. Take the Reshiram and Zekrom GX Alt Art for example. When Black Bolt and White Flare's hype started picking up, the price spiked super fast. Always avoid buying singles within the first 3 to 6 months of the set releases. This is the ultra hype phase, where every sneakerhead is calling Lily's Clefairy the next Moonbreon and trying to flip it at $400. Fast forward a few months later and it's under $150 and still dropping. Remember, sets usually stay in print for 2 to 3 years, it's not just one print run. Cards that hold value long-term usually feature fan-favorite Pokemon or trainers. Different rarity factors and a popular illustrator can also boost a card's potential. When it comes to slabs, you should check 2 extra things, the population and the gem rate. Population tells you how many copies exist in a certain grade, and gem rate shows you the rate that they come back at 10. For example, loosely packaged promos tend to have very low gem rates, which can make high-grading copies much more valuable, especially over time. Japanese cards tend to have way better quality control, and in return a better gem rate, which causes the PSA 10 multiplier from the raw value to be much lower. Now let's transition into sealed product. You might have heard the phrase, sealed is king, and that's not an understatement. After a set finishes its 2 to 3 year print run, no more sealed products get made. Meanwhile, singles from that set keep hitting the market as people keep ripping it. So sealed naturally becomes scarcer over time, which is what gives it strong long-term potential. There's a lot of sealed product types out there, especially in the Scarlet and Violet era, so let's break it down to the top 3 types of product for the best sealed investments. At number 3, we have Elite Trainer boxes. These are a solid option and might even be on par with our number 2. In Scarlet and Violet, they come with 9 packs and exclusive illustration rare promo, and many of these promos are really good. They also come with accessories like Dyson sleeves, which has a bit of collective flair. At number 2, we have booster boxes. Booster boxes contain 36 packs, are compact, easy to store, and give the best dollar per pack ratio. They usually don't come with promos and aren't the flashiest, but if you care more about long-term value and liquidity, these are the way to go. By the way, special sets like Prismatic Evolutions don't have booster boxes. In those cases, booster bundles will take the spot. And number 1, we have the grail of Scarlet and Violet sealed product. These are Pokemon Center ETBs. These are exclusive to the Pokemon Center website, limited in supply, and these days go out of stock extremely quickly. But what makes them special? Well, they have 10 packs instead of 9, which is a little bonus. But most importantly, on top of the normal promo, they come with a second version of the promo, stamped with the Pokemon Center logo. And some of the best ones are already in the hundreds. If you grab some of these boxes at MSRP, you're often doubling your value right out of the gate. Even at market price, these are still some great pickups because they're basically immediately out of print. Down the line, we've never seen these come back. Even though they tend not to get restocked, I'd still wait a few months after they get shipped to people because they tend to go down a little bit, as we can see here with the Journey Together one. Now what about other sealed product? Most miscellaneous sealed items aren't worth it unless the total pack value is higher than the box's market price, which is rare, but it can happen. Collection boxes can be nice if they come with solid packs and promos, but they're usually harder to move and way less liquid. The question most people will ask themselves if they're getting into investing is, what set should I buy? A lot of people get stuck here. The trick is always check the card list before buying sealed, and then ask yourself, is one of the chase cards a popular Pokemon? And does the art actually appeal to collectors? You can also look at hit rates. People like sets with good hit rates to rip, but sets with lower hit rates tend to have more higher value cards. No specific advice here, but some of the most hyped sets aren't always the best option. A lot of the sets that are hated at launch often become super valuable later. Fusion Strike and Evolving Skies were clowned on for months, and they were selling way under MSRP. And now, Fusion Strike booster boxes are over $700, and Evolving Sky booster boxes are creeping up on $2,000. Find a set with long-term appeal, then choose your sealed product. For Scarlet and Violet, if the ETB promo is a fan favorite or has standout art, grab the ETB or Pokemon Center ETB. And if not, booster boxes or bundles are great. Boxes are better than bundles most of the time if the set has them, and you can afford them. Now here are the basic rules for buying sealed. Don't pay over MSRP for sets that are still in print. If the set is out of print, a higher price is expected, but it might not be worth it if the set has already grown too much. Always do your own research. Don't blindly follow YouTubers who are trying to hype up cards and products they probably have a bunch of themselves. And now the biggest secret I'll reveal in this video is just don't fall for FOMO. A lot of creators pump cards and sealed items they own, trying to make the prices rise. Some even buy out the market and then start pushing it hard, making you feel like you'll miss out. Investing anywhere isn't about speed, it's about patience and research. Don't be the one left holding overpriced products when the hype dies down. The dream in Pokemon investing is being able to scale. An Evolving Skies booster box will likely gain $100 of value faster than an Obsidian Flames booster box, but Obsidian Flames will most likely double to 500 before Evolving Skies hits 4,000 a box. So in percentage revenue, you'd be better off buying Obsidian Flames than Evolving Skies right now. But this is just an example, and you never know, the opposite could happen. Let me give you a situation. Let's say you just bought an Evolving Skies booster box when it was $200, and now it's about $2,000. That was a great play. Now a great play you could do is trade that box for a sealed case of 6 Obsidian Flames booster boxes, which will gain more value in the long run. Then in another 5-10 years, maybe you can trade that case for free cases of a newer set. This is the way that you can exponentially grow your investments and collection. Lastly, don't be a scalper. A good rule of thumb is if you're not buying out stores and showering once a day, you should be in the clear. That's about it for the basic of Pokemon investing, and again, I'm not the absolute king of Pokemon investing. I don't have hundreds of $1,000s worth of boxes, but I've researched the market a lot, and these are the basics you should know. If you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments. I'll answer them as fast as possible. Thanks for watching.